I felt like I had to protect myself from being hurt from people that I love. But I couldn't figure out how I was gonna make it. The rule, she was like, treat people how you want to be treated. And that is always how I think about it.
It looks like Alicia Keys didn't just clap back. She lit the fuse and set the whole block on fire. Word on the curb is that Alicia straight up accused Lala Anthony of being secretly engaged to her man, Swizz Beatz. And this wasn't no little side chat whispered in dark corners. Alicia allegedly let this bomb fly so loud that everybody in the game heard it, turning a low-key rumor into a full-blown scandal splattered all across the internet. But here's where it gets wild. The deeper you dig, the less it feels like some random outburst. And the more it starts looking like a messy chess match that's been brewing for years. Old photos resurfacing, cryptic captions suddenly making sense, insider whispers that got ignored back then. All of it is now being stitched together like one big messy puzzle. People are starting to ask, was Lala really trying to play a double role, or is somebody deliberately stirring this pot just to cause chaos? And let's not act like this is just gossip. Alicia allegedly went public with these accusations, putting her marriage, her reputation, and her whole inner circle under a blazing spotlight. As soon as she dropped it, social media detectives went straight to work, pulling receipts from way back, analyzing old events, side-eyeing every single interaction between Swizz and Lala. Suddenly, things that looked innocent years ago don't look so innocent anymore, and fans are whispering that maybe, just maybe, the smoke we're seeing now has been smoldering in the background all along. Little moments we all saw but brushed off like nothing. Suddenly they hit different now. Once the pieces started locking into place for the public, the internet went into a frenzy. Every old post, every flirty caption, every random sighting suddenly looked like a clue in a mystery we ignored for too long. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it was like gasoline thrown on a spark, and the whole story blew up overnight. And get this, one insider says Alicia wasn't just reacting to whispers in the streets. She had allegedly been clocking this energy for a minute.
Of the night, bro, you know, you're not doing too bad yourself. You come through and shut it down every single time. Tell me what you both are looking forward to tonight.
Just having fun and seeing a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time.
Weird late-night texts, secret link-ups that didn't add up, cryptic posts with strange timing, all of it now making way too much sense. So now the burning question is, did Alicia just stumble across the truth? Or did she already know and finally decide she was done playing the smiling, unbothered wife? Because if these rumors are even halfway true, that secret engagement been sitting in the shadows for years, right under her nose. And the deeper you connect the dots, the messier it gets. Those so-called cover-up relationships, those staged red carpet smiles, they're starting to look less like happy moments and more like carefully planned distractions. Some fans are saying it feels like a movie script with all the plotting, while others swear they see the strings being pulled. The internet wasted zero time. Reaction videos, wild memes, and people dropping side-eye comments like it was the hottest tea of the year. One fan straight up wrote, "Wait, Swizz Beatz and Lala Anthony are allegedly having an affair?" Well, Alicia Keys, it's called karma, baby. You could almost hear the side-eye through the screen. What goes around really does come back around. And plenty of folks weren't shy about reminding Alicia of her own lyrics. She once sang about karma, like it was destiny. And now people are dragging that same track back into the spotlight, saying it's the perfect theme song for what's going down. And that old saying, how you got 'em is how you lose 'em, was flying all through the comments. Fans weren't letting this slide for a second. They brought up every messy detail of how Alicia and Swizz first got together, and now the storyline is spinning right back, like history repeating itself. With Lala sliding into the picture so quietly, the tension in the comments was thick, like everybody could feel the drama buzzing underneath every word typed. But this is where it started getting really messy. The first time whispers about Lala and Swizz started hitting the streets, Swizz allegedly went into full-blown crisis mode, shutting down blogs, denying everything, and trying to control the narrative like his whole reputation depended on it. And let's not forget the timing. This was fresh after Lala's very public split from Carmelo Anthony. Just when everyone thought she'd be laying low, here came a curveball: accusations that she was allegedly linked up with Swizz Beatz. Radio chatter turned into a firestorm when host Ms. Jones dropped a bomb, claiming she got a DM straight from someone in Swizz Beatz's own camp. According to her, the message said Lala was head over heels for Swizz, but he had made it crystal clear he wasn't leaving Alicia for her. That kind of tea don't just spill itself. And of course, Swizz wasn't about to sit back quiet. He popped up in the comments section like a man ready for war, typing out that now famous line, "Knock it the F off, Ziz," for the whole world to see. It was short, it was loud, and it was his way of shutting down the rumor before it could even breathe. But here's where things got extra interesting. Alicia seemed to buy into his denial, because Swizz didn't stop at words. Oh no, he went full-blown love bomb mode. For her birthday, he pulled out a stunt so over the top it made headlines. He allegedly dropped big money on a custom Maybach worth around $300,000. A car so exclusive it took 2 whole months just to arrive.
Period, huh?
All right, so you pulling it back? Ready?
Okay, I don't know how to do this.
You just go like this and you pull this.
Yeah, pull it back. Follow easier. Sheesh.
That's crazy.
Nah, that's... Sheesh.
It's crazy.
Nah, in person?
Mama, Maybach season was in full effect. And he didn't just stop at flashy cars. Swizz allegedly hit the studio to put his devotion on wax, remixing some of Alicia's songs and linking with rapper Marv Millie. The bars went hard, praising her artistry, her heart, her legacy, even daring to call her the R&B Rosa Parks. Now hold up, how Rosa get dragged into this love triangle? Still, the message was loud and clear. Swizz wanted the world to see him ride for Alicia. But now, years later, folks are looking back at those grand gestures with fresh eyes. Were they genuine displays of love, or perfectly timed distractions to cover whispers about Lala's name circling in the shadows? Center of a secret engagement scandal. Suddenly, all those flashy gifts Swizz threw at Alicia don't feel like pure romance anymore. Now they're starting to look like calculated distractions, like he was making sure she never stared too closely at what was bubbling behind the curtain. And just when everybody thought this was only about Lala, boom! Another twist shakes the whole timeline. Word on the curb is Swizz Beatz might have gotten somebody else pregnant. Not Alicia, not even Lala, but allegedly another woman completely. And the wildest part? Rumor says she's white. Fans were flooding the comments like, wait, Swizz Beatz' side chick is pregnant and she's a white woman. Oh, Alicia Keys, this can't be real. The internet ate that rumor up like it was primetime soap opera drama, and it spread like wildfire across every blog. But of course, in scandals like this, nothing is ever that straightforward. Some people swear the other woman isn't some mystery white girl at all. They believe it's actually Lala hiding behind a cover story. The pregnancy rumor, the race angle, the secretive spin, it all looked like a way to keep her name from being dragged too hard in the headlines. And if that's even halfway true, it makes you wonder, how long has Alicia been stuck in the middle of this low-key, slow burn scandal, smiling for cameras while all this chaos swirled right under her nose? Every new layer of this story just keeps piling up, like tea bag after tea bag dropping into a pot that's been boiling for years. And honestly, it makes Alicia's decision to finally go public with this whole secret engagement drama a little easier to understand.
You know, this is a night of art, supporting the Met as artists and collectors ourselves, and we just want to have fun and just have a New York state of mind.
Of course, you have so many big New York records.
At this point, how could she ignore it? The rumors, the history, the staged distractions. It's all catching up, and now the skeletons are tumbling out the closet one by one. And speaking of history, let's rewind, because this ain't the first time Lala, Anthony, and Swizz Beatz had people whispering. Long before this alleged engagement came to light, the chemistry between them was already making folks raise their eyebrows. The vibe wasn't just random, it had roots. Back when Lala was still married to Carmelo Anthony, she and Swizz were spotted together at multiple events. And if you paid close attention, their body language was screaming louder than words, lingering looks that lingered a little too long, conversations that felt a little too private, and smiles that carried a spark most friends don't usually share. People online were like, "Hold up, y'all see this energy? Something don't feel strictly platonic here." And then there was that now infamous function where Alicia and Swizz were putting on their couple's PDA show. Alicia rocking her no makeup glow, Swizz holding her close. Yet just a few feet away, eyes were catching a different scene. Folks swore Lala and Swizz were in their own bubble, trading those same lingering smiles, locked in their own little world like nobody else was around. Then came the Met Gala moment. Cameras caught Lala interviewing Swizz on the carpet, complimenting him, keeping it extra playful and lively. He smiled, laughed, leaned into her energy, and the clip had the internet buzzing. Nothing too over-the-top flirty, but the energy between Lala and Swizz definitely caught some eyes. On camera, it looked harmless, just friendly banter, but off camera, fans swore there was something else shimmering beneath the surface. And when you connect the dots, this whole secret engagement situation doesn't come off shocking at all. To many people, it feels like the natural endgame of a tension that's been brewing for years, waiting for the right moment to spill into the open. But here's the part that really makes people side-eye Lala. If you look closely, it almost feels like she's been playing this game for years. Every single time the streets start connecting her name to Swizz, suddenly, like clockwork, another man pops into the storyline. First, there was that New York entrepreneur she was linked to. Before that, some mysterious guy whose name never even came out. And each time, the same move. She never confirms, she never denies. She just lets the whispers swirl while she keeps it cool, making the public do all the speculating for her. And notice this. No couple Instagram pics, no hard launches, no official declarations, nothing. Which, when you think about it, is kind of genius. By never making anything public, she keeps every door open, every rumor alive, and every distraction spinning. While the internet gets busy chasing side stories and mystery boyfriends, nobody's really looking too hard at the main connection, the one between her and Swizz. If that's really the play Lala's been running all along, then we're not just talking about romance drama anymore. We're talking about PR strategy at its finest. That's the classy energy Lala's been giving, controlling the narrative without ever saying a single word. But here's where the whole thing starts to unravel. Because at the end of the day, all the distractions in the world can't cover the fact that Alicia herself has now put Lala's name front and center. And once that happens, suddenly all the whispers, the mystery men, the carefully placed cover stories, they all start looking like what they really are: misdirections to keep people away from the main drama. And here's the kicker. Folks online haven't forgotten how Alicia and Swizz's love story started. Back in 2010, the very same year Swizz and Alicia tied the knot, he divorced Mashonda Tefrere. And Mashonda wasn't shy about telling her side. She openly said he cheated and that Alicia knew he was still married when they first got involved. According to Mashonda, she was blindsided by the divorce, with no idea he was about to marry Alicia just months later. That revelation shook fans then, and it still lingers now whenever his loyalty gets questioned. Sure, in public, the three of them have since presented this polished image of a blended family, smiling at events, co-parenting, taking staged family photos. But a lot of fans never bought the fairy tale. To them, it looked less like healing and more like a PR performance. One comment summed it up brutally. Swizz didn't create a happy blend. He damaged that woman's heart and tried to normalize it with media photos. Looking at this whole Lala situation, it feels less like a brand new scandal and more like deja vu. History repeating itself. The over-the-top gifts, the private whispers, the sudden distractions, it all mirrors the same pattern Alicia's been dealing with for years. This isn't just about some random rumor anymore. It looks like Alicia is finally confronting a cycle that started long before, making it clear she hasn't forgotten the past and she's not about to let it slide without a fight. And here's where things take a sharp turn. Alicia isn't only calling out Lala for this so-called secret engagement. She's drawing a line in the sand. It's like she's saying, history won't repeat itself without consequences. And according to sources, those consequences might be about to hit hard, because the whispers now say Alicia is preparing to file for divorce. The alleged reason? Swizz Beatz supposedly fathering a child outside the marriage. That rumor alone sent shockwaves through the fan base. One shocked commenter wrote, "Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz headed for divorce? Child, how you got 'em is how you lose 'em." That one line blew up, spreading everywhere like wildfire. Some fans agreed, saying karma always circles back, while others defended Alicia, insisting she doesn't deserve to go through all this after building her life, career, and family around Swizz. Allegedly, Alicia didn't just stumble across whispers. She found out the truth through a court order and cold, hard paternity test results. Yes, imagine that. Not just rumors floating around, but official legal paperwork spelling out that your husband's been living a whole other life. A tale as old as time in these celebrity streets. But this time the receipts are stamped and certified. And here's what makes it even more twisted. It wasn't some random moment in the middle of the year. This bombshell supposedly dropped right after Alicia and Swizz were busy celebrating their 15 years of magic anniversary on Instagram. All the smiling photos, the sweet captions, the fairy tale vibe, perfectly packaged for the public. But behind the scenes? If the timeline is right, Alicia might have been holding those paternity papers in her hand while posting those anniversary pics. That's not just messy, that's next-level PR control, the kind of composure most of us couldn't fake for a second. But here's the kicker. This isn't your typical he cheated scandal. If Swizz really has a new child outside the marriage, then we're talking about a whole different kind of betrayal. It's not just about infidelity, it's about building another life in the shadows. And with all this chaos, the big question still lingers. Where does Lala fit into this tangled puzzle? Because let's not forget, those engagement rumors are still swirling heavy. Is she the side story, the cover-up, or the missing piece tying this entire scandal together? If Alicia really ends this marriage because of that baby bombshell, could that be the exact moment Lala slides from the alleged side piece into the public role of fiancé? I mean, would Swizz actually be messy enough to run the exact same play twice in his lifetime? At first, it sounds unbelievable. But when you line up the timing, it almost feels too neat, like history looping back on itself. Stack that on top of everything else. Alicia's history with Swizz, the accusations from Mashonda back in 2010, the whirlwind wedding, the blended family photos that always looked a little too staged for comfort. And suddenly, this whole scandal feels less like random bad luck and more like karma finally coming full circle. What goes around really does come back. And the same kind of mess Alicia once stood in the middle of seems to be circling back onto her own marriage now. And here's the twist that has people whispering the loudest. If Lala's really the one waiting in the wings, then this ain't just some random cheating story. This looks like a straight-up replay of 2010, only this time, Alicia's standing on the other side of the heartbreak. That changes everything. So the real messy question is this: was all of this part of a long game Lala's been running quietly for years? Or is it just the most chaotic string of coincidences dropping at the worst possible time? Did she play her cards slow and steady until the moment lined up perfectly? Or did fate just toss all these scandals onto Alicia and Swizz's anniversary to blow everything up at once? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you think this was a master plan or just wild timing. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because the next chapter of this saga is already bubbling, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's on our radar next.